So hi everyone, Southpaw here, and this is going to be a video on gray spaces. Don't mind my cat, she really wanted to be involved in the video today, so she'll just be hanging out here and saying hi. And so I'm making this video because I hear sometimes from a lot of people who have very binary and very black and white views on sexuality. Like, you can either, for the people who do accept that asexuality is real, because there are still some people who don't, people often feel that there's asexuality and there's sexuality, and you have to choose. You have to, not choose, but you're one or the other. You're either asexual or you're sexual, and there's no middle ground. And to me, that's really unrealistic, because I don't think that there are any definites for anyone on pretty much anything. That there are gray spaces for everything. I mean, I personally can't think of any exceptions, but I'm sure people would disagree with me. But it just seems so limiting. I'm not a fan of black and white views. I like gray spaces. I think that there's a whole spectrum of human experience, and we have labels for what we can, but I don't think there's a label that fits for everyone, or labels that can necessarily define every single individual person's experience. Like, we talk about asexuality, for instance, and the only thing that asexuals have in common is the experience of not experiencing sexual attraction. That's the only thing that asexuals have in common, because there are asexuals who masturbate and those who don't, asexuals who have libidos and those who don't, asexuals who have sex and those who don't, and asexuals who are sex repulsed and those who are not. And, and so on and so on. And that's why on the asexual advice Tumblr, we get questions all the time saying, am I asexual if? And really the only thing that makes someone asexual is not experiencing sexual attraction, because there is no, like, one type of asexual. We're all different. And that's the same thing for the gray spaces, because, not everyone is necessarily asexual or sexual. There's gray-asexuality, people who occasionally experience sexual attraction or do so under varying circumstances and don't feel comfortable identifying as sexual or allosexual for various reasons, or people who do experience sexual attraction but don't act on it. And demisexuality, people who don't experience sexual attraction until after they've formed a close emotional bond with someone, not necessarily a romantic bond, but a bond. And to say that doesn't exist is so completely invalidating, because you don't know, too. Like, you don't know what somebody else is feeling. And that's why, it bothers me so much when people are trolls about things, because it's like, you can't be demisexual, that's just regular sexuality. But it's like, why does it matter to you, first of all, whether or not somebody identifies as demisexual or gray-sexual? Like, think about that. Like, why is it bothering you how people choose to label their experiences? No one's trying to push that on you. No one's trying to say that you should be demisexual or gray-asexual. People are just telling you a label that they found that's useful in describing their own experiences, and I think that's a beautiful thing, for people to find something that works for them, for people to find a community where they belong. Ever since I started experiencing sexual attraction, I had moments where I thought, can I still be part of the asexual community? And of course I can. I choose, well, nobody has told me that I don't belong, actually. But even though I have this very limited experience of now knowing what sexual attraction feels like, it's still so rare and uncommon to me that I still feel very much asexual in all other aspects of my life. And I don't know if outside of this particular relationship I will ever feel sexual attraction again. I expect that I won't, because I'm pretty asexual. But, that one experience doesn't automatically push me from the asexual category to the sexual category, because there are gray spaces, is what I'm trying to say. And so that is something that has been bothering me a lot lately, and I kind of wanted to get it out there, because I'm not the only one who has experienced the gray area, and I want to kind of put this message out there for, people who are like me, and just for everyone. Just, if someone feels a certain way, just accept that. accept that. It's not that big a deal. Even, for people like with pronouns, there's a lot of drama lately because people are saying like, oh, you can't just make up your own pronouns. I'm like, of course you can. Use whatever pronouns feel good for you. Not everybody uses binary pronouns. And not everyone identifies as male or female. Like, what does it matter to you how someone chooses to identify? Why does that matter to you? Think about it that way. And like, really think about your reasons for telling people how they should or shouldn't identify, because, you're kind of hurting people when you say those things. There's so much variety in the world, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So that's all I'm going to say today, and you're all wonderful, and I hope you're all able to accept yourselves for who you are. So stay wonderful, everyone. I love you all. Bye.